Hi everyone, welcome back to the MNS Cards YouTube channel. My name is Michael. I am a full-time Pokemon seller, and today I'm going to talk about why it's important to avoid the scarcity mindset, especially in the market right now. So, to give you a little bit of backstory about my business, at the beginning of 2025, my entire business was pretty much buying from Japan, importing, and then selling in America. And it was really consistent money. I had built in margins. I knew exactly what I was going to be buying it for and then selling it for. And then when the tariffs started, all of that pretty much blew up, and I had to adjust pretty quickly. So at that point, started looking more into buying English raw and then grading it, and that way I didn't have to pay any tariffs from importing. And there's a little bit more risk because English card quality isn't nearly as good. And I mean, you just have to deal with the grading companies more, where before I wasn't doing a whole lot of grading. I was buying already graded cards, bringing them in, and then selling them immediately. And I didn't have to worry about turnaround times. Is pretty much just buy it, and within 7 to 10 days, I could have it listed already on eBay. And so I had to look at, okay, how do these card companies grade the English cards? Because Japanese card quality is so much better, English cards not so much. So I had to learn the whole grading process for English cards, which I hadn't really done a whole lot of. So, one of the first things that I started doing was buying alt arts because I felt like they had a pretty good margin from what you could buy them for raw and then grading costs and then what they were selling for. And I'll show you one of the first cards that I graded that I was able to get a 10 on. And that is the Lugia V alt art. I don't know if that'll focus really well, but when I first got that card, I mean, I bought it for like $350, something like that. I paid the grading fees, which I think at that time they were probably somewhere in like the $15 to $20 range. I probably had an upcharge, so let's just say like $25. And when I got it back, I realized, oh my gosh, this card was selling for like $750. And my first thought was, wow, that was is that something that's repeatable? Because I feel like if it was that easy, then everybody would be doing it. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to repeat this with the Lugia. And maybe I do need to hold on to this, because if it's that easy, everyone has to be doing it. So I held on to that card. I mean, I just showed it to you. So at that point, I mean, that's taking money out of the churn that I could have and locking it up in a card. And I'll show you what I've done since then. So I've graded 5 of these total in a 10, and I'm holding on to them. And I still have the thought of, I don't know how repeatable this is. Is this something where this card is going to just not be available on the open market in mint raw condition, where I'm going to be grading it and able to buy it? And so what I have started to do is I'm going to start selling these cards more consistently. I really need to avoid the, okay, I've done this once and it's never going to be repeatable, because obviously I've proven to myself I've done it 5 times now. And that's just money that I have locked up, that in this market right now, there's so much opportunity. There's things that I could be buying, and there's things that I could be putting that money to better use in than a PSA 10 Lugia V. And there's a lot of volatility in the alt arts. Like, they've crashed. I'm pretty sure that card was like $1,200, $1,300, and now it's pushing 950 to 1,000. So I mean, that's a 30% loss that if I would have just been churning that, there's a good chance that I could have turned that into more money. And so that's something I'm really struggling with. Is it feels like that's not going to be around forever, where I can buy this card, grade it, make that margin, and then at that point, does the PSA 10 skyrocket because there's no more raw copies that are going to be graded, and there's going to be less PSA 10s hitting the market? And then that's something that I'm going to be happy if I held on to them, because who knows what the price could do at that point if all of the supply just dries up. But I do think that there is going to be more and more opportunity, especially in this next year, to be buying, grading, and flipping. And so that's something I'm really trying to figure out, is what's the balance of what could these cards do for price, and how is the supply on the market going to affect that, versus, you know what, we're just in a roaring bull market right now and I need to have every dollar available to be buying and churning. So I think what my plan is, especially on those cards, is I probably gonna hold on to 3 or 4 of them and start selling them, and try to use that money to grow the business a little bit more than I have been. And I mean, I'll give you another example of something that I've ran into is, here it is, Pristine Dragonite V English. I always thought that it was absolutely impossible to get a Pristine on CGC cards. So I got this card. I was like, oh my gosh, a Pristine? I think this card's pop like, I don't know, probably 200 or 300. While the PSA tins is in the tens of thousands. It may, well, maybe not tens of thousands. It may be tens of thousands. It may be over 5 figures. But I mean, since then, I've just continued to submit to CGC, and I mean, I've got Charizard EX in a tin, got the Tyranitar V English in a tin, got Umbreon V Max in a tin, I've got my Lotic EX in a tin, got the Articuno V in a tin. So what I'm learning is, whether it's luck or skill, and probably way more luck than skill if I'm being honest, but I have an ability to repeat this grading English into CGC tins. So I don't need to hold on to those as tightly as I thought. Like when you get that first one, it's like, oh my gosh, wow, I didn't think that this was ever going to be possible, and I just did it. Like, I need to hold on to this card. Who knows what the price could do? And then you do it a second time, and then a third time, and then a fourth time, and the fifth time, and you see these cards like, okay, either I'm insanely lucky, again, granted, probably a ton of luck involved in that, but it's also like, okay, I've proven to myself, I've had 3 submissions where I've gotten pristine 10s back, and so I have some ability to repeat this. So with the market that we're in right now, I need to start selling these, taking that money and putting it into more plays. I see opportunities out there. I haven't really run into an issue where I had just a screaming opportunity and I haven't had the money to buy it, but I do think that I want to be more liquid and start taking more risks in different areas and see what I can do with my business. Like, I have accumulated a ton of graded cards over the last year because I've had that mindset of, oh my gosh, this is so unrepeatable that I need to hold on to these because I'm never going to get them back. And then I repeat it again and again and again. And then all of a sudden I have 5 Lugia Vs and I've got 5 Espeon V Maxes. Like, this is just money sitting there that I should probably be using to grow the business more than just sitting in inventory. And I have accumulated a lot of graded cards over this last year because that's what my primary business has been, has just been grading cards. And I feel like my price point is so low on some of these that, not that it's hard to let it go, but it's, again, that mindset of, okay, I don't know if I'll ever be able to buy it this low again and get in at this price. But again, I've shown to myself over and over again, I have an ability to repeat grading 10s, and I just need to use that money, churn it, and grow the business. So right now, I think the market is red hot. There are certain things that I can do that I think I can be buying and using different selling avenues that it won't, I'm trying to figure out how to not saturate the market on certain things that I think are just easy. Buy 100 of a card, send it out, I barely have to touch it, and then using consignment services, I can just have those cards constantly churning and churning and churning, and every week I want to be selling a couple hundred cards through these consignment services that I have minimal work in. I don't make a whole lot of money off of it, but if it's anywhere from $300 to $500 every single week, and I just have to bring in the cards, pre-grade them, and send them out, and I just have to touch the cards once, they do all the selling, they do all the shipping, then that's something that I want to start taking more advantage of. And maybe with more money, I will feel more confident in taking some of those risks, because the way that it works is I have to send a minimum of 100 cards every single time that I want to do this. So I want to be sending out 200-300 cards every single week to these grading plus consignment services. So I'm going to try to be growing that in this new year, and hopefully with me selling off some of these graded cards, I can hopefully grow that into more of what it could potentially be. So yeah, that's my rant. Don't get too stuck in the scarcity mindset. A lot of this stuff, especially modern, is repeatable. I know these cards are cool. I know they're awesome. The first time you hit that 10 on a big card, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. I get it. I've been there. I'm still there now. Every time I get a Lugia V and a 10, I see it and I'm just like, holy moly, I can't believe I hit that in a 10 again. So just get out of that mindset. Like, a lot of this stuff, if you've proven to yourself, you've done it over and over again, it is repeatable. And so use that and help it to grow your business. At least that's what I'm trying to do. So I've got stuff to do. I'm sure you do too. I appreciate you hanging out and have a good one.